Velina mai kako. Welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps it aloha by not always getting along, but always loving each other. I'm your host Kamaka, and I learned that from a certain character in a Disney movie that we all love. We got an amazing guest today, but before we introduce her, I gotta remind you to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/kamakadias to get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to this podcast and join our Ohana. We're an independent podcast, and all funds go to helping us run this podcast and bring you the best quality content every week. If supporting this podcast with money is not for you, but you still love listening to us, please consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It would mean the world to me. I read every single one, and to prove it, I want to share this review from Makana Risser Chai. This person says, goes deep and wide in Hawai'i. As a Malihini here for only 25 years, I love how this podcast goes deep and wide in Hawaiian and local culture. My first listen was Keao Neesmith, whose translation work I have admired for many years. His mana'o about Olelo Hawaii was amazing, and here I am second guessing my use of Okina and Kahako, lol. I loved what he said about Haole and Aloha and Manaleo and so much more. Other highlights have been Kamaka Pili, Kelly Hu, Sudden Rush, and others from journalism, movies, sports, and music. The most fun so far was Frank DeLima, Andy Bumatai, and Augie T. I was laughing so hard I might have been in danger on the road, and I learned a lot about local comedy. Through it all is Kamaka with his nahe nahe style, taking us through the highs and lows of history, trauma, culture, hope, and joy. Mahalo. Mahalo, Makana, and thanks for that, Makana, to us. That was such a lovely review. Enough about me on the podcast, though. Let's get into this episode with a legend in the acting business, Tia Carrere. I finally learned how to actually say her name. It's Carrere, not Carrera. So that was interesting. But she's just been a staple in Hollywood for a long time, and I didn't realize how many awesome things she's been in, and I've seen since growing up, watching movies. So I was super honored to talk stories with her today. She has great energy. I hope you'll enjoy the episode, and enough of me talking. Let's get right into it. Let's introduce our guest. Support for this podcast comes from Texaco in Hawaii, which features 58 convenient locations across the state. Fueling up at Texaco is fast and easy when you use the Texaco mobile app to pay at the pump. The Texaco mobile app is a contactless way to pay for fuel so you can get in and out of the gas station quickly. Fuel your car and fuel yourself. Pick up your favorite local snacks and ice cold drinks at your neighborhood Texaco today. Texaco at Techron, driving performance. Our guest today is an accomplished actress from the island of Oahu. She has appeared in numerous blockbusters like Wayne's World 1 and 2 with Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, True Lies opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger, and also voiced the character of Nani in Disney's classic animated film and TV series Lilo and Stitch. As for television shows, she has had roles on TV programs such as General Hospital, Nip Tuck, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Relic Hunter. If this local girl wasn't impressive enough already, did I forget to mention that she is also a 2-time Grammy Award-winning musical artist? Because she is. She must have been drinking something in the water here growing up, and she's going to tell us all of her secrets. I am so stoked to talk stories with her today. Her name is Tia Carrere. Aloha, Tia. Welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How are you doing?
Aloha. I'm so happy to be here. I've been watching you on the Instagram.
Yes, I've been watching you on the TV and movies my whole life.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm a little old. I've been in this business 40 years this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's incredible, yeah, when I think about it. Discovered in the grocery store in Waikiki at the Waikiki Food Pantry that no longer exists.
Oh.
It was, I have this list of places that I go, like my touchstones when I come back home. It's like first stop Liliha, then go to Kalihi where I grew up, and then go to Food Pantry just to see where I was discovered. And, that's the kind of stuff that grounds me. But I was just in there after a modeling job and got discovered by a producer's mother and father and got my first movie.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And even looking into your story and researching you, because obviously I've heard your name, I've seen you and stuff growing up my whole life. I was born in 93.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What was I doing in 93?
I'm so old, Tia.
93? I could be your mom.
Yeah, 92 is when Wayne's World came out, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
Wayne's World.
So yeah, I was looking up some of the old things you did, like True Lies. I forgot you were in True Lies.
The
I
tango.
That was
Yeah.
one of my dad's favorite movie, and I remember watching that with him, and I didn't even like it didn't click in my mind. Like
That's
you did
awesome.
that,
Where's
yeah.
your dad? Where's your
Yeah,
dad?
he's on the Big Island, Hilo.
Oh, I'm going to Big
Yeah.
Island in a few days.
Oh, nice. For
Yeah.
what?
My auntie's 85th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's in
Awesome.
Hilo side. I love Hilo.
Yep, that's where I'm from.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah?
yep.
We should find out where we live if we live next to each other. But yeah, I used to go there since I was like, I don't know, 8 years old. My grandma's
okay.
family's from Papaico.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, my friend lives right past there in Honolulu.
Yeah.
So we'll have that area. But yeah, I'm super excited to get to know your life story. We're gonna dive deep and maybe even figure out how to pronounce your last name correctly, right?
It's Tia Carrere, but I don't have like an emotional connection to it. I respond to "Hui,
Hey, honey girl, what about that one?
Come over here." I respond to anything. It's just like when I did my first movie, I mean, Alfiore du Hina Hanairo was not, it's a lot of names. So my nickname was Tia since I was 3 years old because my sister couldn't say Altia. So I was Tia. And just, I don't know, like Tia Carrere, Jose Ferrer, it had a ring to it. And that's how I got my first, movie with credit was Tia Carrere.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, thanks for telling us. So if people call you Tia Carrera after this, you know they didn't watch this podcast episode.
Exactly. And then you can scold them.
Oh, I will. Yeah. I'll be going angrily into their DMs. But let's start at the beginning, get to know you. Where are you from? Where are you grad? And what was it like growing up?
I was born and raised in Kalihi, all the way up at the end of the street. And I used to catch a bus to Sacred Hearts Academy, where I went. I went to St. Anthony's kindergarten. So that was right up the street at the end of Kalihi Street. And then after that, from first grade to graduation, caught the bus, 2 buses to Kaimuki to go to Sacred Hearts.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a private school girl.
Yeah.
How did you like Sacred Hearts?
It was good. I feel like, I mean, there are studies done that women do better in all girls schools. They say that if there are boys in the class, that maybe they get shyer to raise their hands. They get more, reserved. I don't know why that is, particularly in science and, math. So I feel like I thrived, and I feel like it made us, very bold females going to Sacred Hearts. And I'm glad, my grandma helped us go through school, and, I could have been, having a hard time over at Farrington like my sister had for a period. But, my boyfriend went to Farrington when I was a kid. He was a bus boy over at Kenny's.
Oh, you just said that
Kenny's
story the other
Coffee
day,
House.
right?
Yeah.
He was the hot bus boy.
The hot bus boy at Kenny's. And there's no more Kenny's either at Camp Shopping Center.
Well, I guess you have to open up your own restaurant or something one day.
Yes.
That could be a good idea.
That's my exit plan.
Yeah.
Once I'm power with Hollywood, have my own little small place, have my favorite foods, my favorite drinks, and sing there every Aloha Friday.
Perfect.
That's my dream.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So what kind of things did you do growing up? What were you into? Were you also into, you weren't into acting because you were discovered and then you got into acting. So what were you like into before that?
I always loved creative writing. And so funny because now I'm writing my a script for myself to shoot back in Hawaii. This is my 3rd script to shoot in Hawaii that hopefully I can get financing for this one. But I always liked writing, and I sang. So I went to my first singing lesson. Maybe I was like 11 years old, and then entered Brown Bags to Stardom, which was a talent contest, because you're too young. I'm going to explain to you Brown Bags to Stardom.
I remember Brown Bags.
Yeah, KIKI radio station.
That was like the whole
Kamasami Kong.
That was before Hawaii Stars, right? Like that was like the talent competition
way before Hawaii Stars. That was probably the inspiration for it. But every high school would do their own competition, and the winner from that would go to Waikiki Shell, and we'd all compete, and whoever won got to do a show in Vegas or something like that. I don't know where it was because we never won. But I entered, I think it was like sophomore year and senior year, something like that. But Daniel Ho, my musical partner now, 2 Grammys. He's like, I don't know how many Grammys he's got. I can't keep track. He's got so many. But we met during that time as teenagers, and, they've been friends ever since and continue to make music. But yeah, it started with Brown Bags to Stardom. I remember singing it. Did I sing at Ala Moana? I sang at Kahala Mall. I sang at boy, the military officers club with St. Louis Jazz Orchestra, and I was the singer, sang all these jazz standards with them. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so that's I guess helped you get in front of people, and you were comfortable, and you had some entertainer genes inside of you already, right?
Yeah, well, I gotta say, every family get together, everybody was expected to bring food and bring a talent. So my cousins would get up.
That's why, right?
Yeah,
of course.
And also, I think like plantation styles, like everybody comes in whatever they can give. I saw Lanai was talking about like putting the food in the middle, everybody sharing. I think it's, share the entertainment, share the food, share the cleanup.
Yeah, exactly.
And we used to all the kids have to get up and dance or sing or play something. So I had cousins that danced hula, and my uncle was a jazz bass player in the Union. So he would have like Gabe Baltazar, amazing vibe guy, and all these jazz players playing at some of his events too. So music was always around since I was a kid.
Okay, so you thought you were gonna go in the route of being like a famous singer, and then you were just scooped up at the Waikiki show, and like, you need to be an actress.
I really thought singing was going to be my thing. I thought I was going to be in like the hotels and performing there, which I do now.
I know, which is so cool
too. Because we were at Blue Note earlier this year, and probably early next year too. But we. I always thought that was where I was going to go. And, I don't know anybody in show business. Why would I think I was going to do movies or TV shows? I mean, I wish I could have been on Magnum PI. But funny, when I was a kid, I always thought it was Magnum PI. I thought it was a Filipino show. It's a true story. I know, sorry, stupid. But yeah, I saw in the TV guide, I'm like, oh, Magnum PI. Wow.
And PI short for Philippines, right?
Yes, I thought it was a Filipino show. God's honest truth. I shouldn't admit that on TV, but oh well.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody else taught that growing up. Let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know.
Magnum. That's funny. So after you were discovered in the grocery store in Waikiki at 17, you got your first big break. And then what did you do after that?
Yeah, so because it was like I got my Screen Actors Guild union card, and I made some money. Then I moved to Hollywood, and that was the Olympics of 1984. And there was a show there, Star Search, which was they had acting, they had singing, and they had supermodel competition. So like the supermodel would be, hi, I'm Tia for, Star Search, yakety, blah, blah, blah. So I thought I was going to do that because I'd been modeling. It would be easy to do, but that was all full. So they put me in the acting competition. And the guy that I was partnered up with was worried that I couldn't act. So he put me with his acting coach because he didn't want me to make him look bad, right? Mr. Cool. But I ended up my acting coach, and I did well, but we didn't win our competition. Like it was like, I don't know, 3.25 to, I don't know, 2.75 or whoever, I don't know who we lost to. But I continued, and subsequently it was great because he was my coach through Wayne's World and True Lies and Rising Sun with Sean Connery. So rest his soul, he's no longer with us, but that was where I started learning, because I did my first movie just making pretend like I'm a shy local Hawaiian girl that falls in love with a Caucasian Casanova. And Andy Bumatai, I was Andy Bumatai's sister, and I was the leading lady of the film. And it was like Romeo and Juliet kind of, love story. So I was just making pretend and had no idea what I was doing. So when I moved to LA, I wanted to make sure I could study and be in control of this artistry that I realize now takes a lot of work and dedication.
And then at what point did you realize, like, wow, I can make this into a career?
Well, I mean, when I got cast in my first movie and got my first paycheck, I was like, hey, this is pretty awesome. And that was scale, which is, I don't know, whatever it was, a week. But, it was the only job I ever had.
So
I did
from that
modeling, and
the
then
first one, you're just like, this is it.
Yeah, knock on wood, but thankfully 40 years later, it's still, show business is my job, acting, singing, dancing, whatever,
Okay. And then, so what's the story of you getting casted for Wayne's World? Because that was like the biggest, one of the most classic movies of the 90s.
That was, there's a saying in Hollywood, the projects in your career, the stages in your career. It's like, who's Tia Carrere? Get me Tia Carrere. Get me a younger Tia Carrere. And then who's Tia Carrere? And that really is pretty accurate. Now I'm in this stage of get me a younger Tia Carrere, probably. But fortunately, there's more mature women writing and producing projects, so I'm still working. But it was the one that changed my life and put me on the map, and people knew who I was, and there was name recognition because it was such a huge movie. It was like the lowest budget movie at Paramount with the biggest box office of the
it's like
year.
20 million, but it made like 170 or something.
I think
crazy
the budget was like,
yeah.
I mean, 12 million or 17 million, depending on who you talk to. But yeah, it made $250 million over the world. And we traveled, and just seeing how that juggernaut just took over and how they marketed all over the world was very, very educational for me.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, as like somebody who's not in the film industry, how does that work? So like, say, because you know, you see all the news about new movies coming out, and you know they make all this money, or it's a bust, right? And they don't make a lot of money. So as an actor, do you get more if the movie gets more? Are there like, is that written in the contract? Like, do you lose personally if it does bad? How does that affect the actors?
So, I mean, now we have streamers, which is a whole different game, and it's kind of heartbreaking because you don't get residuals really for streamers, or very minimal. It's decimated, you know, the acting and the music world, unfortunately. But I still get residuals from Wayne's World, True Lies, whatever. Every movie theater it plays in, every channel it plays on all over the world. Every DVD or whatever, VHS back in the day that they sold, you know, they would put into a pot and everybody would share from that, which was great. If you are a really successful actor and you get profit participation, well, that's next step up. But still, somebody like Tom Hanks had to hire a lawyer to get his residuals from Paramount because they were saying, oh, we didn't recoup our investment in the film, and like the marketing of the movie cost millions of dollars and whatever. So then they had to do a forensic accounting to see that, the studio did make a lot of money. And so I think he made, I don't know, $100 million or whatever that they found.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of a trip. So, you know, it depends on your contract. So be on top of your contract when you sign up. But when you're young and you're starting out, you're just grateful to have a job. So, you know, even if you just get that movie that has the good fortune of playing in a theater and doing well, Screen Actors Guild residuals, you get them every month or every quarter in your bank account now.
Nice, and that's like passive income.
Yeah.
Cool.
So residuals are the life's blood of people that came up, you know, when I did. Now, I honestly don't know how I can suggest to people to get into my line of work because of the lack of that residual aspect. Now, I would say make sure you use your digital devices and film your own content. And it's a whole new game. You can share in the revenue by ad sales on YouTube and being an influencer and monetizing that way, filming your own film like a Sean Baker, and you're doing it on your iPhone or doing it on your whatever, your Sony, you know, F3, I think is what they shot The Creator on. Unbelievable movie that they shot on this little SLR camera. Thanks, Daniel Ho, for that information. But it's I guess, the democratization of the art form, that you can come up with an idea, you can write it in your computer, you can film it with your camera and edit it in your computer and put it out there and have ownership of it in a way that we never did before. So I guess there's a trade-off. As long as you protect that space for yourself and know that you have the ability to say, no, this belongs to me. You know, back in the day, it would have been like how Sylvester Stallone said, no, you know what? I'm not going to sell Rocky. I know you're throwing money at me, like tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know if they offered him like $50,000 or whatever, but he believed that it was his star making role. And look, that changed his life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we owned it back in the day. And how you own it now is you create it, you put it together, and you can sell it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
put it out yourself.
Yeah, it does seem like we're moving into the world of independent films and
Mhm.
people just doing more independent content creating.
Hmm.
And
I'm trying to learn that.
yeah.
So you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah. So like with this, this is independent podcast. Nobody tells us what to do. We keep all the fun. So, I think
Good for you.
it's good. It's good in the sense where you can kind of create your own living.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I'd kept up because during the COVID, I did like Aloha Fridays.
That's what Lincoln was saying.
Yeah, I
he
was
would
just going
go,
on.
like,
I'm in
on-
my backyard
Yeah.
with my phone or whatever. I was like trying to put like the bounce card. I didn't even know what I was doing, but it's lonely being at home.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to reach out to other people saying, hey, just spread the Aloha spirit and say hello and hope you guys are doing okay at home. And
Mhm.
just little helpful hints of like, if you feel like disconnected, even though we have masks over our
Mhm.
faces, you can like smile and people can see it in your
Yeah,
eyes and
raise your eyebrows.
open the door for somebody or
Mhm.
let them go in traffic and wave, it's like stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it just made me feel good. And I guess it was nice for people too, but I wish I'd kept going like you. It's wonderful what you're doing. Cause I saw
Thank you.
this even before I, knew you. And it's really, really great
Mhm.
spreading, this sort of joy and connectivity and not being so, judgmental of like,
Mhm.
oh, this is Hawaii, that's not Hawaii. There's many different facets to it now,
Mhm.
and different people that love Hawaii and embrace the culture, even though they don't have Hawaiian blood or whatever, and
Mhm.
and it's cool. It's like as opposed to marginalizing, oh, they're haole because they have blonde hair, or
Yeah.
you know.
I think we try to be as accepting as possible, and that comes from my experience abroad, and being a local boy born and raised, but also interacting with people from all over, all walks of life, right?
Hmm.
And then you realize that like we're not so different. We look different, we sound different, but I mean, we have way more similarities than differences.
That's absolutely what I
Hmm.
think. And I
Hmm.
think that is born of traveling and seeing other cultures and empathizing with their,
Yeah,
individual
empathy.
issues or whatever. And like I'm working on putting a TV show that really explores that
Awesome.
reality-based TV show, which is we're more alike than we're different. And if we all operated from that place, how much of a better place the world would be, right?
100%.
Without so much fear and marginalization and things pulling us apart.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
that's
No,
our
we
hope.
just have to understand people better, because a
Yeah.
lot of it is just misunderstanding because it's lack of knowledge, lack of education about certain people, different groups of people, and
Mhm.
maybe even ourselves. We're still learning like the things that we like and don't like, and who we are as a person.
Yeah, we got to check ourselves first, turn
Totally.
the mirror around on ourselves.
Yeah.
Why do I feel that way? Well,
Uh-huh.
maybe I'm scared. Maybe I don't understand.
Yeah.
Maybe, I have my own prejudice because it came generationally or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when something offends me, like I try not to take anything personally. I read the 4 agreements, don't take anything personal. But when something does offend me, I like to like take a step back and think, why does that offend me? Why am I triggered by this?
Mhm.
Before just reacting to it and giving an emotional response.
Yeah, and that takes
Mhm.
great discipline. That's a very like
Zen,
Zen
peace.
master. Yeah, just like take a breath, step back, take a moment, and then proceed. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you moved to Hollywood when you were young, I mean, you just graduated, 17.
Yeah.
Did you have any struggles adapting to that culture over there? Leaving Hawaii where it's like very tight knit, ohana.
Yeah, it was a real wake up call. I thought, oh, I live in Oahu. I know the city
It's the
and
city life.
everything. I had been living in Waikiki a little while. I had no idea. Yeah, I got lost a lot while I was there. Because they have these map books.
Never had a Google Maps.
Nope, this was a
Yeah.
map book.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It's called Thomas Brothers Guide. Now you know how old I really am. But I used to look like, okay, you're on this page and like, okay, G4, and then you go to change G4, and then you go to this page and like, L27, and you're like changing pages while you're driving. It was so dangerous.
Mhm.
But I learned, LA that way. But even beyond the geography, it was that lack of the kindness and the, people will cut you off in traffic. If you're slow, they'll jump in line in front of you or just simple stuff like that. It's like, whoa. And then I realized that they look at me and they're like, okay, can you do an accent? Okay, you know what? Your hair is short. You got to put a long-haired wig on so that we can cast you as Asian villagers or whatever. And I was like, wow.
Very stereotypical roles, yeah.
Like there was a box for everything. And if you didn't fit in, because I'm like somewhere in between, you know, I'm like, you know, all these different things. I'm from Hawaii, you know, I don't speak with an accent, you know, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, whatever. But you know, that's the kind of roles they were casting back in 1984, 85. So, you know, I'm an actress first. So I, you know, did everything that agent told me to do. And it was an Asian guy too. He wasn't even my agent, but I had gone to meet him about some other project. And he gave me this advice. And I started wearing wigs and I started working on accents. And I worked as a villager, as a prostitute. As a whatever, you know, vixen, you know, these were the roles that were there. Working in a tea house. It's, you know, fortunately we've progressed greatly from that point, but coming through the door first wasn't always an easy thing. Dealing with what I was handed and trying somehow to like make lemonade out of lemons and, you know,
well,
just
I think
be resilient.
You know, you were a trailblazer for women, and not even in just from Hawaii, right? In the world, in acting in Hollywood, because you know, like you said, it was so different back then. We have so much diversity and inclusion nowadays, and we just were way past like people being stuck in a box.
Yeah, nobody looked like me for sure when I first moved to Hollywood. Even my acting, the acting agent for sure said, I don't know, we don't have anybody like you. Okay, we'll try. And then my modeling agents looked me up and down. She's like, well, she's not tall enough, but we don't have anybody like her. Let's see if she can get some work. But I guess it was a double-edged sword because I was one of the first ones out there. Whatever came down the way, there was a handful of people that I saw in the room I was auditioning against. So,
yeah, no, but we just want to mahalo you for, you know, laying the bricks because remember at the ICANN event this past Sunday, I think Alex, he shared the quote about blessed is the man who plants a tree knowing that he will never get to enjoy the shade.
That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. That whole thing touched my heart, man.
Yeah, it was
awesome. Like, it was beautiful being invited for me to teach class there because it was a lonely time. Like me coming up and not having that infrastructure of people to look ahead to and know that you can work and to know that you have people around you supporting you. It was wonderful being a part of that. And I'm so glad to be invited. My friend Angie LaPratt, who I know a long time, she was friends with my sister. Her daughter went to preschool with my nephew. You know, that she said, you know, her, Brian Keolana, Suko, all these guys, and getting to meet Lucy and Alex, that are doing a lot of heavy lifting.
So great.
A lot of heavy lifting, you know, getting funding from, you know, Georgia and DBET and all that. It's putting these pieces together to support a whole creative community. What they're doing now is huge because you can get the tools and, you know, utilize the cameras and the cameramen to create so that we can build our own business, our own studio of content here so that the world can see us the way we want to be seen, not by their own imposed fetishizing of, oh, here's our story set against the backdrop of beautiful Hawai'i paradise. And, you know, which is fine. I'm happy that money is coming in, but it would be nice to access funds for little tiny manini projects, $200,000, $100,000, $500,000 that you have the ability to make it because it's harder for us to get financing for our films. Like I said, this is the third project that I'm writing to try and get up, and hopefully this one, you know, I can get the money for it to do a project that's really important, but it's not the feel good, you know, commercial project that Hollywood want to see. But it's important to tell our stories, our individual stories.
Totally. Well, I can't wait for that
Yeah.
or to see that.
Yeah, I
But
got my computer in my backpack over there. I'm going to go to the beach and go right.
oh, awesome. Yeah, but I think right now, like the people in those cohorts, the younger generation,
Yeah.
we're sitting under the shade of the tree that you all
Oh
planted.
my gosh.
So
Don't. You're going to be like, Oprah, you're going to make me cry today. I know that. I felt it welling up. I'm like, I push it back down again.
But I mean, you may not have noticed it back in the day, and like maybe you're seeing it now, but you see all the appreciation that people had for you. Even the people like Jason Scott Lee as well, and the male side, people, you are the people that we looked up to. I know I'm not an actor, but just as representation of people doing big things from Hawaii, I think it's so important. And because we have all this now in social media, we get to see more and we get to inspire so many more people. But that's why, you guys were the trailblazers, and now there's going to be so many more because of that. So
thank you. Thank you
so
so
always
much.
about giving thanks to the people that came before us.
Thank you. I'm just thankful to be invited to the party 40 years later. Truly. Honestly, I say that, but I am serious.
You never left. You're always at the party. But I wanna dive into Wayne's World, because people are gonna, if we don't talk about it, people are gonna be like, why didn't you talk about Wayne's World?
Oh yeah, you got the questions. You got the questions that came in.
We got
right?
that. We do have some later, but I want to know how you ended up booking that role, and just tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's funny. Like back in the day, they had these things called what do they call them? Breakdown services. So it was basically sheets of paper that said Paramount Studios looking for 18 to 23, girl from Hong Kong, speaks with heavy accent, but when she rocks, she sounds like Pat Benatar or whatever it is. And then, and it says Wayne and Garth, based on a project from Saturday Night Live, and it tells a synopsis and how to submit your headshot and your resume for the part. So my agent submitted me for the part, and then I went in for my first audition and read 3 pages of the script, and they said, "Oh, can you sing?" And I said, "Oh, can I sing?" I was like, "Heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me." And they're like, "Oh yes, you can sing, great." Because they could have dubbed somebody's voice in. They didn't need to have me sing. So I guess that was a bonus. And I went in 3 or 4 times for the part, and then got the part. So yeah, just like hard work and perseverance and showing up on time and you just not freaking yourself out. You get freaked out.
You had the right talent and confidence, and that was trippy just hearing you sing, because I was just watching the videos, the songs from Wayne World last night.
Oh yeah, the Ballroom Blitz.
Sounds exactly the same people. No, there's no auto tune, there's no editing. That's your voice.
Well, if they want to hear me sing Ballroom Blitz, because I rarely sing that. Recently in Beverly Hills, they had like a fundraiser for a film independent. I did like this live read of the Wayne's World script. So all these other actors played the parts, and I came out and surprised everybody, and I sang Ballroom Blitz with the band. And I was like, wow! I got a little laryngitis afterwards, but yeah, it was fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
So it's on my YouTube if you want to see.
Okay, go check it out.
Real Tia Carrere or at Tia Carrere Official. Anyway, look for my thing, and then you'll see the live performance.
Okay, cool. So did you sing or dabble in all different genres? Or what was your favorite thing to sing? Because that just showed your range. You sang rock or heavy metal, whatever it is. And then you won Grammys for Hawaiian, singing like this melodic,
I like super chill, melodic, like the open vowels of Hawaiian language and Sade, jazz. That's where I like to live. It's like, Huapiha kule. Inapualike ole.
That's so cool.
Kamaile me kamukihana. I wish I could sing that at the Hokus, but
just do it anyways.
It's like a 5-minute song.
Surprise
I have like 2 minutes. We have to do like a medley of like 2 songs. But that's where I like to live. So I jumped up a mic at Lure's Lounge the other night and did some songs. But Wayne's World needed rock and roll. So, I just went there. Because when I was in high school, junior high, I did sing some rock and roll with a band in the neighborhood and sang like the hard rock, like, what was it? like AC/DC kind of stuff, or Ronnie James Dio. Who was he with? He used to be the lead singer before Ozzy Osbourne. All the rockers are gonna be like, oh, I can't believe she forgot. Shoot, I forget the name of the band.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Somebody can comment it below. So you did that. It was a hit. Did you know it was gonna be a hit?
I did not. All I knew is when I read the script, I laughed out loud.
Yeah, because it's a silly film, right?
Yeah, but you don't know how it's going to be shot, right? You don't know he's going to turn to the camera and start talking to the camera and, break that fourth wall, and how clever the staging of it was. So it was like, as an actor, you're only one part of the process, and you have to sort of trust in the collaborative effort, the cameraman, the director, the writer, and they changed the lines a lot. Like they did the script, and we must have had like 20 revisions on the script to make it better and better and better. And it just evolved into the great piece of work that you saw. And I was so happy to be a part of it, because it was a whirlwind. We shot, I think, in 28 days, which
the whole entire movie?
Unheard. Yeah, like 30 days. 30 days of principal photography on a studio picture. That's unheard of. That's like an indie movie, so it was really, you get one or two takes and you just go. But it was incredible to have something like that change your life so much. Take me all over the world, and,
Yeah, and it led to other things, True Lies.
Yeah, True Lies.
Yeah.
I mean, I went in for that. They flew me to Miami, and I memorized the whole monologue. It was a great monologue that wasn't ultimately in the movie. But my whole audition scene was like a big monologue, like half a page of dialogue, just me. And I was in the hotel room in Miami just going over it. And I did not leave my room for like 2 days. And I just went through it. And I was supposed to be like looking at showing Arnold this whole hieroglyphics on the wall of this tomb. And I was like talking about the people and just preparing myself. So when I went in to audition for James Cameron, I was on it. And I'm really, really happy, because it was an amazing experience. That was a movie that took about a year to shoot. So I went from one that took a month to shoot to one that took about a year to shoot.
That was right after Wayne's World?
No, well, was it right after? What did I do right after Wayne's World? It was a little while, but yeah, pretty quick afterwards, I guess. Because definitely the juice from the Wayne's World success, brought me that. But I did travel all over the world doing press for Wayne's World, so it had to be a few months afterwards.
Okay, yeah, and we got to see your acting and singing in the other one. Now we got to see your dancing and fighting.
Oh my gosh, I had like tango lessons with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know, that's always something cool to say, right?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And did some workout with him, because he had like a workout trailer on set. I saw the importance of physical fitness to keep your mind and body straight. And I got to see him recently and do a workout with him now, all these years later. Yeah, because I brought him a birthday present. And he's like, oh, thanks for the present. Come, let's go work out. I'm like, I'm not prepared to work out, but I went to go work out with him. I was like, he still works out every day, He's an inspiration.
Yeah, that's super cool. So, and you do all your stunts too, right? All of that.
Yeah, I did learn them all. And sometimes they'll intercut with a stunt person. But for my Relic Hunter TV series, it's probably easier just to use me as much as they could. But True Lies, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that whole fight scene of me and Jamie Lee, it was all close up, so it had to be us. I think even the gunshot in the car. I didn't really do anything where I think put me in such physical danger. That's where they'll bring in like a stunt person where, okay, you're going to fall out of the window, or get like Jamie Lee being pulled up into the helicopter. But I think she even wanted to do that herself. It was sort of that kind of movie, like, yeah, let's go. We can do it.
Well, you survived the car crash after the car fell off the bridge. That's crazy. That's how impressive you are.
That was not for real.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was never on that bridge. I was never on that bridge.
Oh, really? They
Isn't that crazy?
Like the inside of the car separately?
Yeah, me and Jamie
movie
Lee
magic.
were in a limousine on hydraulic lifts, and flamethrowers and smoke and a blue screen projection in the front so that they shot and it looked like we're on the bridge moving, right? But it was just in the car and it was just moving around at a soundstage in 20th Century Fox.
We would never know.
Yeah, I just blew it. I just dashed all your fantasies and dreams of like me flying off the bridge.
Yeah, I really thought that was you. I was like, wow, she's really strong. She survived that car crash.
I know. Only with like half my face cabbage. That's all.
Yeah. So after those, what was your career like after that? What did you continue to do?
Well, then after True Lies was Rising Sun, which was amazing, getting to work with the legendary Sean Connery.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes.
The original Wesley Snipes, who's like amazing in the new Wolverine Deadpool movie.
I just watched it.
Yeah. That was, I saw the opening day too. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so awesome together. They're so funny. Those two guys. Yeah. Oh my gosh. They just keep telling these crazy jokes. But it was great to see Wesley out there again. You know, it was crazy what happened like during the past number of years. But to see Blade, maybe we'll see another Blade movie. Yeah. Because he was like one of the first, superheroes, like way before Wakanda, there was Blade.
Yeah. I like how he said in the movie, it's like, there's only been one Blade.
And it's true. Yep. That's true. So it was great getting to work with them. I was really pleased to have that level of, the director was nominated for an Oscar for, The Right Stuff, Philip Kaufman, and just this caliber of like Harvey Keitel and Stu Buscemi and, of course, Wesley and Sean, that I got to come in the morning and say, "Morning, Sean." It's like, "Good morning to y'all." It's like, oh my gosh, that's like James voice. Bond. Yeah. That's James Bond. I'm like, the first time I met him, like, "Hi, Sean. I'm Tia. I play Jingo." And he goes, "Of course you are." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm a loser. Of course I am. Of course I'm gonna go sit in the corner and hide my face now." Loser.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome.
That is really awesome. Yeah. I mean, all these things in just a matter of years, right?
It's crazy, when I think about it. You can't rest on your laurels and go, "Oh yeah, I'm cool like that. I've done all this stuff." It's decades of life that you continue to build and you ebb and you flow. And the harder work, I think, is finding that life-work balance to keep you straight in your head, to know that your worth is not only tied to what project you're doing. Especially in Hollywood, it's like, "Oh, so what are you doing now?" You did that last year. So what are you doing now this year? And there's a lot of that, keeping up with the Joneses and feeling like you don't have value if you don't have a current project. I think it's really important to find a life, a belief system, a support system of a community of people that love you, no matter what you can do for them or not do for them, that you can go out and enjoy the simple things. Not just like, "Oh, I only fly first class. I only, go to expensive restaurants," and like, "Oh yeah, let's go and get bento box and sit on the beach and, just talk story." And that's what I love about Hawaii is you come back home and that's what has been able to keep me surviving in a crazy business with crazy people that will make you feel bad, will leave you by the side of the road and forget about you and whatever. But you have to know inside of yourself who you are. And that's why I come back home as much as I can. And I ground myself with those touchstones of places that remind me who I am, where I came from. And you know what? I was okay here. I'm okay there. Anywhere in between, I'm still okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
love
you just have such a solid foundation from growing up here that you always kept Hawaii with you.
Yeah, my grandma, she was like, that's like 11 kids, and my great grandma and great grandpa living in one hut on the plantation, working together, sleeping together, making rice bag, shorts and underpants or whatever, because my grandma said, that's what they had to. They use a rice bag and they make clothes. And I learned all this stuff from my grandma, being thrifty and, be very conservative in how you conduct your life so that you can be there she was always the go-to person if, anybody needed anything. I mean, after my family, broke up, we were living with my grandma, and she stepped up and helped us go through school and helped us with everything that we needed. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful to know that you come from a foundation like that everything will be okay.
That's awesome. I love to hear that.
Yeah. I wish my grandma was still around.
Yeah. Well, I love how after you had these successes in the 90s, the next thing you were able to kind of come back home in a way, right? By playing the voice of Nani in Lilo and Stitch. And the new Lilo and Stitch is coming out next year or something?
Yeah, next year.
So yeah, that was one of like the biggest movies for Hawaii. Even though it was animated, it was a movie based in Hawaii, and they actually represented our culture somewhat all right.
Yeah. Well, originally they wanted to get me for Mulan. Before
really?
that, and I was in Europe working on Relic Hunter, and I was so mad. I'm like, "What? You didn't tell me?" And dropped the ball, and because I always wanted to be in a Disney animated feature because I love those movies. I always been a fan from Bambi and Dumbo and Little Mermaid, my favorite musical cartoon ever. I know all the songs. So I was really mad, and then it was on a case of like, things will come to you when they're supposed to come to you. And then a couple of years later, the same casting director said, "You know what? There's something that's perfect for you." And it's set in Hawaii, and it's something where the filmmakers want to meet with you and really talk to you about what it's like growing up there. And I help give them the fingerprints of like, we really should have a flavor of pigeon and, stupid head or, bolo head or whatever, you know what I mean? Like those little things that just, when you get off the plane, you hear, the pigeon accent, and the importance of that to being accurate. And then they said, "Oh, for David, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Oh, Jason Scott Lee, he lives on the Big Island." And so it was great getting to be involved with that from the ground up as they're writing script and painting the world. And that took about 2 years to work on that. And they followed me all around the world when I was working on Relic Hunter because I was traveling a lot. And Jason, I think, was doing King and I in London. So they went to London to go visit him there. It was a big deal, but it was awesome. And I'm so proud of that, getting to be involved with such a great movie. And such a good-hearted movie. I was like, "Wait, what's Lilo and Stitch?" I was like, "That's not a Hawaiian name, but okay." But they wanted it to be two very distinct characters. I guess maybe
Yeah.
It's trademarkable too, right?
Short for Luna Lilo. That's what it is.
Oh, was it? No, I was going to say.
I'm just trying to make
I never
it
heard that. I was just gonna I was like, "Who told you that? Really? How come they never told me that?"
Yeah, I don't know what else Lilo would be short for. Lilo. Well, Lilo is like to lose something, so like it could.
She lost her mind a lot.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But yeah, because you two were attached to the film, it made it so authentic.
Yeah,
which is what we loved, and it's just so cool to see 24 years late.
Was it 2003?
2003. 20 something years later. 21. We're gonna have a live action.
Yeah.
Can you give us any insights about that? Anything that's not going against contract?
Well, no. One thing that was amazing realization for me was in the moment as we were going around, and Dean Fleischerkamp, who's directing it, wonderful director, he did Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. You got to see this stop motion movie. It'll make you cry. Okay. It's so sweet, and it's about ffamily and togetherness and stuff. So I highly recommend seeing Marcel the Shell. But Dean was taking us around and doing a tour of like the house, and this is where Tutu lives, and this is, where you live. And then he said, and here's the hammock where he said to Sydney, "Oh, this is where you sing Aloha Oi, blah, blah." I said, "Oh yeah, that was my idea." And he goes, "Oh my gosh, that's right. I remember reading about that, blah, blah, blah." Because on the cartoon, they said, "Oh, so there's a scene where you're saying goodbye to your sister, and how would you say it? Is there a phrase or whatever?" I said, "There's a song of love and farewell, possibly the most famous Hawaiian song there is, Aloha Oi, and the meaning of blah blah blah." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, can you sing it?" And so I sang it, and they recorded it in the studio, and it made it into the movie. So I got to flash forward to, shooting the live action here as another character. Mm-hmm. I said, what about this, that I had contributed that to the movie, and it made me so happy because I got to sing in the movie. And it was amazing having that. All of a sudden, 21 years went, wow, that was...
So we can look forward to seeing that in the live action, you singing Aloha Oi.
Oh, no, I'm not singing it. Oh. I'm not singing it. Yeah, Sydney's singing it. But I love, being there in that moment and being reminded that I contributed in a meaningful way to this movie. It was nice.
I thought you were saying that. I was thinking maybe they changed it a little bit where they still had you singing it as a different character. But I guess they're sticking to that.
Yeah, no, it's got to be Sydney singing to her sister,
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it was great getting to see that legacy of my contribution, little contribution.
Yes. So do you wanna stay out over there, or is the plan always to come home, or is it that home base and you
every time I come home, the tug is stronger and stronger. I'm not kidding. It's like when did Oahu get so expensive? Holy cow!
Food, plate lunches are not cheap anymore.
A stupid little thing. I was like, shell earrings. I saw $9. But it's if I could figure out a way, ultimately that is where I'd like to be, is here, and have that little restaurant, bar, place to perform.
You have a daughter.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Right. And where does she live?
In LA. She just finished high school.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
And does she come and visit with you when you come over here?
No, she's very, very fair, and she burns very easily in the sun. So I think, the melanin sort of decided for her that maybe she has to go to like a cold climate. She wants to go to Canada because she's got Canadian status from her dad. And so I think she's going to go up there for college. After, she's going to do like 1 year in LA and then go to Canada. So then maybe then I can...
Yeah. Okay.
If anybody wants to open a restaurant bar with me, call me. DMs.
We just hire Lincoln. That's all we got to do. Lincoln does everything. Right?
Okay, we'll talk to Lincoln at Hoku's.
Yeah. He was saying that he wants to work on something with me too. So maybe we'll just all invest in something.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
We could like advertise it on here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, free advertising.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick shishi break and we'll be right back with the social media fan questions. What if we told you the next 3 times you fill your tank, you could save money? Well, at Texaco in Hawaii, it's true. You can get $1 off per gallon on your next 3 visits when you download the Texaco app and join Texaco Rewards. Earn points on every fuel transaction and qualifying in-store purchases at participating Texaco stations. Download the app and join to get started today. Visit TexacoHawaii.com for details. All right, we're back from a quick shishi break, and we're going to get into the social media fan questions. But we were talking about something interesting right before I went to take my shishi about like all the funny pigeon words that we use that people don't really understand.
Yes,
so, I wonder if shishi that we
doo-doo.
use.
You don't call doo-doo anyway.
We said doo-doo boy, doo-doo girl.
Really?
Yeah.
You name your doo-doos male and female? Wait.
We call people that.
Doo-doo head.
Doo-doo head.
Doo-doo head. Bolo head.
Bolo head.
A stupid head, but let's see. Lolo. But that's let's see. Pigeonisms would be like, pigeon to the max book,
Oh, we just gotta look to that. Yeah. Well, one thing that
rubbish.
Rubbish. I would say that around people not from here. They're like, "Are you British?"
Yeah. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
That's a bit of rubbish.
Because I think, you guys got any rubbish you want me to throw away? Stuff like that.
Yeah, rubbish, not trash.
Yeah. I think one thing that I heard too is stomach and stomach.
Stomach.
So I say stomach. I say stomach. And people say stomach.
Well, if you go stomach.
Stomach.
My stomach. I don't know.
My stomach is sore.
Both.
Yeah, I
Stomach.
guess maybe it depends where you hear from.
Yeah.
Stomach. Does anybody else know stuff that we say?
I was thinking about rubbish. You got me thinking about rubbish.
Yeah,
Now.
rubbish. The yeah, no, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no,
And yeah,
no,
just
yeah.
saying yeah.
Oh no,
We
yeah.
always say yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a Hawaii thing.
Hey, you like a grind.
Yeah, and it's funny because no, yeah means yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
no
Yeah.
means no.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's true. That's true. I only do that here. Yeah, I love it. Whenever I like talk to Kelly, who we bust out the pidgin, or me and Daniel Ho, we're like talking pidgin, but Daniel says, no, we talk retro pidgin. It's like, it's stuck in like 1984 where we left, or 1985. Just what we know for
retro
back then.
pidgin.
Nobody says it like that anymore. But apparently they do, some.
Yeah. It's just one of those class. If you know, you know.
If you know,
yeah.
IYKYK.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the social media fan questions. This first one comes from, we have a lot. I had to, I'm sorry, I couldn't get everybody's question, but I tried to get as much as possible. First question comes from Carlos Olsen. He says, any future plans to do a reboot of Wayne's World, like a Back to the Future kind of thing?
I always get that question, and unfortunately, it's not up to me. Of course,
open to it.
Of course, 110%. That was such a great movie. Like I said, it changed my life. But I think they're gonna have to come and find me in Hawaii eating papayas and take off the muumuu, and I'm wearing like, some sexy red dress underneath or something.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I'm owning my own tiki bar because they were mocking the tiki bars in the movie. But that sounds like a pretty good living for me.
And then maybe you transition from rock to Hawaiian island music.
Yeah.
Jazz, slow, jazz island music.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're the producers of Wayne World watching this, then here you go. There's your idea.
There you go. There's your idea. No charge.
And then he follows up, Relic Hunter. What current actress would Tia feel would fit the character now if they brought back the show?
We were, somebody was talking about that a while ago. Like if I was, in the office because I'm a professor and I'm sending like a younger crew of relic hunters out to go and do get the relics. I don't know. Any of the girls in the I Can class could be me as a young relic hunter. So many of them really talented young ladies over there. I don't know. Anybody that's like physically fit and likes doing their own fighting and that, smart so they can get out all the dates and the places and all the historical facts and exposition out. And somebody that doesn't need much sleep because, boy, traveling the world, you have 5-6 hours of sleep every night and you still have to memorize all that stuff. I don't know.
Can't think of anybody that fit.
Whoever can get the thing
like
financed.
Hawaiian Lara Croft, yeah.
Yeah, that was before Lara Croft when we did that show. And I thought it was funnier too. I liked that it had like a sense of humor, good-heartedness. It wasn't so, I'm serious and I'm a relic hunter,
Okay, well, we'll see what happens in the future.
We'll see. Any suggestions? Put it in
let us know.
the DMs.
The next question comes from Bruin Podcast. Oh, the Bruin Podcast. What's your most memorable moment with Mike Myers, Wayne's World?
I remember, the most memorable for me that was important to me was when I auditioned that final time, the third or fourth time, and I was sitting in the room with all these other girls, and Mike Myers came. I said, "Oh, can I talk to you for a second?" I went out and I spoke to him. And he goes, "You're my choice. You're doing a great job. Just keep doing what you're doing, because it's great." I was like, that really filled me with confidence, so that when I went in, I was like, "Yeah." He's rooting for me, and he's, the guy that created this character. So that meant a lot to me. That's a major memory in my head.
Feeling. To get that validation from the guy.
Yeah, from Wayne. It's his world.
And we're just living in it.
But on set, it was kind of funny. We were doing the donut scene, I think, where we're all sitting in the donut shop. And I'm wearing like this flower Aloha shirt. I think it was like roses and stuff. And I was wearing it like tied up like this with some jeans. So that scene, we're sitting outside. It's like 2:00 in the morning in front of the donut shop. And Mike was getting like punchy. And so he came up with this character of like this ADHD kind of hyperactive kid that just had to be like on, those body leashes, like leashed to the jungle gym. He had to run and boom, and he'd fall down. He'd run and fall down. And it was hilarious. He just came up with this character 2:00 in the morning because he was loopy himself. And I think I saw him doing that character on SNL afterwards.
That's cool. It's cool. You get to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That we don't get to see. Okay, next question comes from Stonky Donkey. This person says, Tia's version of Aloha Oe is gorgeous. Does the song have a special meaning for her?
Yeah, it makes me cry every time I sing it. It's well, you can't help but think about how the monarchy was overthrown and that the queen was imprisoned in her own palace. I mean, just you start with that. It's like, it hurts your heart. But I've sung that at a number of funerals now. It's just one of those songs that people want to hear to say farewell and to say I love you to their loved ones. And it's bizarre that I'm singing at a funeral, but if that's my gift to the funeral and it makes them feel, better, so that in that moment they can let go and cry or whatever, then I'm glad to be of service.
Awesome. It is a beautiful song, very heartfelt, and the kind where everybody's holding hands, swaying.
No, that's Hawaii Aloha. But they're just sitting there like with their Kleenex, like crying. Like, I'm trying not to cry, but
both of them get you.
Yeah.
Okay, next question comes from Finn_catcher. How's it, Wes? You used to surf with him.
Oh, so he thinks he's undercover. Now you just outed him.
No, I think he likes the podcast. Just want to give him a shout out. He moved away. I don't know. He's in the military.
Aww.
In the first Wayne's World movie, did you sing and play the bass for real? Swing. I don't know if I'd probably did a terrible job at that. Swing.
That's swing with a pigeon accent.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. No, that's what I was doing.
Oh, there you go. I actually did have to learn how to play the bass. And it was like doing this. It was so hard for me playing the bass and singing at the same time. So I had to learn the songs that way so that they could see that my fingers are moving properly. But in the movie, of course, they're using somebody else that's actually playing. But when I rehearsed with the band for those few weeks, I actually had to play. It sounded awful, but because I was slow with my fingers on some of them. But yeah, they wanted me to learn properly.
Can you still play?
Oh goodness, no! Oh goodness, no!
Do you play any instruments?
I'm lucky if I can strum the ukulele to sing Aloha Oe or He Aloha Mele. That's it.
Okay. Next question comes from Philip_NE. This person says, "Why do you get more beautiful every day?"
Aw, thank you very much. I'm holding it together with paper clips and cellophane tape. I don't know. I think beauty is happiness first and foremost, joy. It's about drink lots of water, sleep, don't do drugs, don't smoke. Drink minimally. That's common sense. But a joyful face, a smiling face, a joyful heart. That's everything. And I think that makes somebody beautiful and keeps them young at heart too.
Awesome. I love that. And this next question comes from Drac108. This person says, Tia has been looking really strong and fit lately. What's the secret?
Thank you very much. During COVID, I was cooking like everybody else. I was making bread. I even made manapua.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I learned how to make manapua. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I got to stop the madness because I was just like, making food and eating it and sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. And I was like, okay, that's it. I brought my spinning bike into the living room. And so instead of sitting on the couch, I was sitting on my spinning bike. So I would be on that bike for hours, just watching TV or whatever, like that nervous energy too, because everybody was very anxious during that time, right? So I started with that and I started losing. I was like, oh, this is good. And swimming and, dialing back, watching what I eat. And then I went to see like this diet specialist, and she said, okay, only eat half, whatever you're going to make your plate, and only eat half of what you would eat, which was torture for me because I hate throwing away food.
I don't think I could do that.
It's hard.
It gives me anxiety just hearing it.
I know. It's terrible because waste. My grandma would be like,
yeah.
But you could save it for another meal. But if I if I didn't do that, I would have to give her like $1. It was like some food stuff. I was like, okay, that's great. I did that. And then, so I tried all these different things. And then another thing where she said, write down everything you eat. So I had like a grid of like breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, and you write down what you eat and what time you eat it. And when you are writing down everything you put in your mouth, you're like, oh, wow, that adds up. Here I'm thinking, I'm not hardly eating anything. I don't know why I'm gaining weight. Well, how many scoops of coffee mater are you putting in your coffee? And, how big is that scoop of rice? And, you finish eating, but then you go and pick up the extra bite from your kid's plate. And if you're writing it all down, then you realize where those extra calories come from. So it was a whole educational thing, but it took me years to get down. I lost 50 pounds at the end of the day, but it took me many years to get to where I am now. And then stand-up paddle boarding and swimming in the ocean and working out with weights, going back to, the stuff that,
staying active
and having an active partner, that you go out and do these fitness things with, that made all the difference in the world for this past, year and a half, 2 years. So,
cool.
Yeah. So get somebody that likes to go paddle boarding, who likes to go, in the ocean. I was always terrified to swim in the ocean. Coming from Hawaii to be scared to swim in the ocean, I know it's stupid, but there's tiger sharks out there. I'm just saying, and they're out there right now. Yeah. I know that there's been a lot of sightings lately. So, so I have to overcome that fear.
Just stay on the board.
Stay on the board. Yeah, stay on the board. Don't put your feet off the edge.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next question comes from M_E_O_84.
Goodness gracious.
Shout out to this person, Mosese. I also know this person.
Aw, you memorize everybody.
Yeah, I recognize the usernames. I actually saw him going down the escalator at Aloha a couple of days ago. I was going down and he was going up.
Is it
so it's funny. Yeah. So what was the biggest accomplishment you've achieved for Hawaii?
I mean, I think Lilo and Stitch is a great one to make it, the specificities of that and the pigeon and the, keeping it as close to that upbringing. And it didn't make it, off-putting, like, it's not a universal language that people, or accent that people know, but we went with it. And that fact that it made money at the theaters in a big way, I think makes it more accessible to having more projects that contain pigeon, that, you can be more accurate to a people of a place and have it embraced by an international community, that those feelings are universal. And so I think every time that we do a project that gets embraced and makes money, that it makes it better for the rest of us to create a project in that same vein. So hopefully we'll see more projects, more local projects, continuing in that journey. And if we get some little indie movie from here that makes money, that people show up to go and see. So that's why I urge people at home to go and see the kind of movies that you want to see more of. Go and pay your money, buy the ticket, So.
Awesome. Listen to what she's saying. Okay, next question comes from Elvis_Saludesg. No questions, but thank you for your career. I still watch Relic Hunter.
Yeah, that was a great job. Relic Hunter was great. Traveling all over the world.
The questions about Relic Hunter and Wayne's World. Okay, this question comes from N1411. This person says, do you have any stories from your time filming Zombie Nightmare? And have you seen MST3K episode on it?
Yeah, that's was it Mystery Science Theater? Is that thing where the two robots, it's like they're shadows against the movie screen and they're showing these awful movies. And I was in an awful movie called Zombie Nightmare. But it was interesting because one of the guys in it is a huge director now. And I wonder if anybody could go into those comments now and tell us who that big director is that was in Zombie Nightmare with me. It was so low budget. I was wearing all my own clothes.
Oh, really?
And the scene where I get killed by the zombie, they put like Caro syrup in my mouth And I had to run through the scene with the syrup in my mouth. And when he took my head and smashed it, I was supposed to spit out the syrup on the thing. So it's so lo-fi. It's so lame because they did it all in one take and I had to hold the blood in my mouth. So stupid. But yeah, so that's Zombie Nightmare. That was interesting.
When was that?
That was, like 84, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was up in Montreal.
So one of your first
Yeah,
ones.
one of my first ones.
Oh, okay.
It was before Aloha Summer came out because Aloha Summer was held for like 4 years. I did that in 84, but it came out in 88. So it was like, I did this little movie and I made some money. It was so awesome. I was like, I went and cashed my paycheck and I like carried the cash in my purse. I was like, felt like a big shot. And then I ran to the bank and put it in the bank. But that was kind of one of those that you did for the money. And it was, yeah. It was educational to see.
Part of the journey. Mm-hmm.
I survived it. I survived shooting karaoke, videos too, When I was modeling, I had to bring my own clothes, go and change in the bathroom, the public bathroom, and go and, film the videos, like $300 a day, shooting like 3 different videos.
Do you have any regrets of anything that you've done?
I think regret and worry are wasted energy. I always try to not do either of those. Of course, I fail all the time. But I think everything that we do, every good thing or bad thing that happens to us makes us who we are today. We are more resilient. We're more tolerant. We have a higher pain threshold, whatever it is. So every difficult thing that has happened to me or every misstep or wrong move ultimately turns out to be the right move because I'm better today for it. We are stronger in the broken parts, as Ernest Hemingway said.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question comes from... where did it...
Ooh, last question. Now you got to go through all of them.
Yeah. I was kind of bouncing around with these questions. Okay. Right there. What motivation did she pull from to overcome her toughest obstacles in life?
Whew. Well, I think I answered that in remembering who I am and who came before me, and whatever I have to go through, it couldn't have been as hard as that backbreaking work that my grandma and her family had to do in the fields, cutting sugarcane or pineapple for the man and not getting up and out of that system. And, they had to have all these lots of kids because otherwise financially they would never get out from the system. They were serfs on the land, having to buy everything from the plantation owners. So I think the fact that I look back to my ancestors, my generations that came before me, what they had to deal with, which was far more difficult than anything, I ever had to deal with. I had to deal with different psychological things as you go into Hollywood and sneaky, nasty people. But, I didn't have to worry about being, hungry or, dying of physical exhaustion in the sun, and the stuff that they had to do.
It's great perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every generation, how every generation is like, we had it the hardest, you got it so easy. I think every generation has something that's difficult to them. And what's hard to you is still the hardest thing to you,
Yeah.
Everybody has just different way. If it's, I don't know, trying not to get sucked into social media all day.
Yeah,
Maybe
now it's more of a mental thing, don't you find? Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's a mental health aspect now is the hardest.
Mental. Back in the day, maybe it was a lot more physical.
Yeah. Yeah, because back then we had that community. We had the family. We had the extended family. Now a lot of people move far away from home, I always say to go somewhere else to become something else. And that's the greatest danger in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is forgetting who you are. But yeah.
Yeah.
We have a whole nother podcast on mental health. That's what I'm going to come back and talk about next time.
Definitely. We could dive into that a lot. But mahalo everybody for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. I like to ask all of my guests the same question about keeping it aloha because it's the name of the show. It's something I try to do every single day. Keep it aloha. So in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
I keep it aloha by following the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. It's very simple.
Mhm.
It's very simple, but that's what I always try to do.
Have you heard of the platinum rule?
Ooh,
There's
platinum.
one even higher.
Okay.
Yeah, so I learned this in the Peace Corps. And
Okay.
we were talking about my Peace Corps experience during my shishi break.
It's
So,
wonderful.
Yeah, tie back. So we have all these trainings about cross-cultural, safety and security, mental health, all of this.
Mhm.
So one of the things that we learned was the platinum rule, because we all know about the golden rule, to treat others how you want to be treated. But the platinum rule is treat others how they want to be treated.
Oh, wow.
And it's just
You
like
just blew my
one of those things that
mind.
it's just like, huh, how come we never thought about that,
Wow.
Because treat others how you want to be treated. Sometimes I want to be treated differently than you want to be treated.
You're right.
So if
You're
I treat
absolutely
you
right.
the same way that I want to be treated, that might not be, or you might not be accepting to that. Same with love languages, right?
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Same with love
You're learning
language.
somebody's love language.
Exactly. So I think that's what the platinum rule tries to get at, is that knowing how you should treat them the way they want to be treated.
Knowing how they want to be loved.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so
Thank
the platinum
you.
rule.
Okay, that's going to be my new mantra.
Yeah. I think both are great, because but I think the platinum rule just takes us a step higher.
Yeah.
And, it really helps us understand others more.
And to have empathy for others' needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, do you know your love languages?
I don't know. I don't know. I know what I like, and I'm very clear about that.
Okay,
my partner.
So there's a book, The 5 Love Languages. It's quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, and gift giving.
I like all of them.
What would you rank yours? So if somebody does, for example, an act of service, somebody cooks for you and, sets up this nice date, do you like that rather than somebody just like buying you a new laptop?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because there's more sweat equity involved. There's real care and focus.
Acts of service. Do you like somebody just bought you a ticket to go to your favorite show, or would you rather have time with that person?
Geez, of course, like it's better to have their undivided attention and to have a discussion and talk about, your feelings. That's more important.
So that's quality time. Yeah.
But also physical touch.
And physical touch.
And in Hawaii, everybody hugs, and I think that's the thing, is like the real connection, physical connection, mental connection, emotional connection, eye contact, all that stuff. That's the most important stuff.
And do you know how you would rank them?
Goodness gracious. I want all of them. I don't want to choose. I'm greedy.
So there's a test that you can take, and it shows you, but it's very true. And like it changes the way you receive love and the way you give love. For example, I don't care about receiving gifts, but it's more
fun to give. Yeah.
I love giving gifts. Yeah. So like if you give me a gift, it doesn't really do much compared to like if we spent quality time together.
The gift of your time, the gift of, that's why I'm saying like going out and paddling and talking and laughing and or listening to music or dancing, that's the kind of stuff that's priceless. That's worth everything in the world.
Totally. I love that. Well, that's a great way to keep it aloha.
Yes.
Yeah. In your career, you've done so many things and you're still doing things, but what would you say you're most proud of right now?
Well, gosh.
This is when the tears start to come in the second half of the podcast.
No, I refuse.
I'm just joking.
I have to say, considering that my kid just graduated from high school, it was a long, hard slog, especially with, COVID and all that difficulties. I'm grateful that I've been able to step up and become a mom and learn how to hopefully be a better person. It's the hardest job you'll ever love. You said that about the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
Try being a parent, dude. Oh man, that's a brutality. It's hard, and it's for decades. But yeah, it took me to another level as a human being.
What would
I'm
you say?
grateful for that.
What would you say the biggest lesson as a mother you've learned?
that I know nothing at all. I know nothing at all. As together as I think I am, and people say, oh, you're so grounded, you're so evolved. Your kid's always going to teach you something more in a different angle. And you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was doing good. And I'm like, I did exactly the wrong thing in that situation, you know? So it teaches you that you should always be humble and that you don't know all the answers and you never will. Kind of surrender into that.
Totally. Yeah, there's a quote I share all the time from Socrates that says, real wisdom is knowing you know nothing.
Yes, the truly smart people admit that they don't know anything at all.
Yeah. One of the most powerful words is, I don't know.
I don't know. Can you tell me more?
It's okay to not know. I think, pride and ego gets in the way. You don't want to seem weak or like unintelligible. You say
that's how you learn.
Yeah,
is by asking questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I've never heard about that. How does that work? Explain it to me. Can you tell me more about it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're acting and you want to give this image that you're really good and confident, but if somebody's trying to give you advice of something you don't know, don't pretend like just be open to receiving it, right?
Yeah, and that's what I love about traveling the world is realizing how very little we do know and to be open to the conversations and the knowledge that's dropped on you when you least expect it,
Yeah.
Riding on that train somewhere in another country. It's beautiful, and to be open to that journey.
Totally. Yeah. So what are you currently working on these days? What are your passions in life?
Well, sitting my okole down and writing this script because I'm like, I have the whole story. I just have to pound out, and because I keep writing and rewriting the scenes and stuff. But I want to get that shooting, and I want to have that ready to go when Lilo comes out next year. That's my goal. I'm saying it right here. Ooh, I just made it public.
Yes,
that's
speak it into
accountability.
existence. Yes.
Accountability. So that's what I've been doing. Just writing. It's a discipline. To do that pages every day. So thank you. I saw Ty Sanga over at the I Can thing. He's like, sit down and write X amount of pages every single day. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it.
Can you tell us what it's about, or are you trying to keep that a secret?
No, I'm keeping, I told some people, but I was like, sometimes you sap away the energy when you're like, you feel like you've almost already completed it by telling the story. So I'm just trying to keep it burning in my gut.
Okay.
In my stomach.
Can I put one thing out there? So I've been telling people this a lot recently just because I've been around a lot of actors and just the people in the industry, is that I really want to play a dead body in a movie. That's my dream role.
You want to play a dead body?
I want to play a dead body.
I played a dead body. It's not so fun because you have to stop breathing and you can't move and your eyes have to stay still. And when I had to do it, it was freezing cold and I was shivering and I was trying not to shiver and there was raining on me. So being a dead body is not that easy.
We can do it. We can do it right now. Easy.
Okay. You don't look dead. Your eyes are fluttering. Okay. If you're going to play dead, you have to like.
Oh, wow. That's good. Okay.
Focus on one single spot.
Okay. I just feel like I'm just like. What about this?
Oh no. We're going to have to cut this from the show. This is too disturbing.
Do I have a role in your movie?
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
And then I'm going to come on here, I'm going to PR it.
Yes, but as the dead body that I just showed.
You want to be a dead mommy? Maybe I have to beat you up first and then you die.
You can kill me.
I could kill you.
Could you kill me?
I could kill you.
Yes. What about that?
Well, maybe if I just knock you out. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to be a murderer in the movie.
Okay, I guess sleeping, punch you out. It's the same thing. As long as I don't really have words, I can just kind of be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're from where?
Hilo.
Hilo.
Yeah.
Hilo. Kalihi. Hilo. Yeah, I could punch you out.
Same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Kidding,
I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a Peace Corps boy. The Kalihi will come out.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
You can play that auntie and I'm just acting up and you're just like pop and I'm like
pop. Yeah, exactly. Slap his head.
Yeah, exactly. I said, hey, sorry, auntie, I never mean to offend you.
I know. I never slap you for offending me. I slap you for calling me auntie. I was talking to a couple ladies about that the other day. Like, what really pissed me off is when they call me auntie. Not supposed to call me auntie.
That's the sign of respect.
That's what I think. But I think it's like a woman of a certain age still wants to be vital and I don't know, maybe feeling, sensual or whatever. And you don't want to be called auntie in that moment. Maybe get chance.
It's definitely love. Get chance.
Get chance. Yeah, that's a pigeonism. Hey, bro, get chance.
Yeah,
auntie. Oh, that's it. Stab me in my heart. Stab me in my heart now.
That's funny because as a guy, I love being called uncle. You know, I
Yeah,
wonder
it's
if
because you're
a-
young. That's why.
it's- yeah, but you know how young people they're like, oh, don't call me aunt, don't call me uncle. Like I'm only so young, but I like being called uncle. Like if the little kids are just like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
uncle.
well, because they're little kids. But
Yeah,
what if he looks like he's about the same height as you and say, "Hey, thanks, uncle"? You're like, "What you talking about, uncle? I'm same age as you."
Nah, I just be like, yeah, Uncle Kamaka. I take care of you.
I guess it's different. See, there's the male, female.
Maybe, yeah.
They
Or it could just be me. I don't know.
doo-doo girl, doo-doo boy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so you got the script going on.
Okay, I get that.
Are you doing other
and
projects?
I'm singing. I've been singing.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to be singing at the Hoku Awards. Wait, when is this going to be airing? This one. Is this going to be on
after the Hokus?
After, yeah. So
after the Hokus.
in a few days, I'm going to be singing at the Hoku Awards, and
I can't wait to see.
We're up for one. Fingers crossed, but we'll see.
For Hawaiian in the Hawaiian music category.
Yeah. Our live on tour album, me, Daniel Ho, Uncle George Kahumoku Jr. And I've never been before, so it's exciting.
Nice.
And I hope got Hawaiian food for dinner. That's
yeah, I've never been. I don't know what the setup is.
But maybe I got to go to the Hawaiian restaurant down the street.
Oh, that's easy. We can make that happen.
Yeah, you like go?
Yeah, let's
Hawaiian
go.
plate. Yeah, okay, good.
They have really good food.
Yeah, they have really good food. I don't want to do a commercial for them because I don't know who your sponsor is.
No,
but
we support everybody.
But yeah, so that's fun. Writing the script, gonna shoot it. Doggone it. And singing and writing music. I put a country song out on my YouTube. I'm Still Here.
Yeah,
I shot the video over on Hilo's side, actually. So maybe you'll recognize my friends over there. And let's see. So I got this new song now that I've done, but I haven't released it yet. I have to do a video for that. So it's a jazz song that I did many years ago. And just singing, acting, creating, just doing everything. It's what I do. It's a pretty awesome job.
Do you think you're ever going to stop that, or you're just going to do it till the wheels fall off?
I mean, I don't see any reason to stop. I mean, creativity doesn't stop. Your mind doesn't stop. I mean, maybe I'll move a little slower. Maybe I'll, take a little more time to go, hang out and enjoy life, not do so much and be driven so much to succeed. Because I feel like I've attained heights that I could never have dreamed of. I've traveled all over the world, places I never expected to see. So everything is gravy at this point,
Nice. What are you most grateful for in life?
I'm grateful for life itself, for my amazing life that has found me and plucked me from obscurity and taken me on this journey, every single thing that has happened to me, I'm just grateful for that, the experiences and the ability to say yes and just go, let's go.
Yeah. Did you ever have a time when you were growing up or going through your career that you didn't really feel supported, or you've always felt supported by friends, family, even Hawai'i?
There was a time, well, it's usually associated with relationship, but yeah, I guess the period after my first ex-husband. I sound so very Hollywood now, but it was a very, very depressing time. It was not a good time, and so I discovered talking about things more than just holding them in and trying to be strong all the time, and it was really a time of going back to finding that place inside of myself that trusted me and my choices. And when you're in a tumultuous period of being in a situation where your life, the person you're with, is not right, that they put you into a whirlwind of self-doubt and fear, that you have to sit yourself down and find that still small place inside and take a deep breath and really focus on the things that brought you to this place and sort things out. And I remember my therapist telling me at the time that it was like being, one of those big jumbled up balls of different colors and shapes and sizes of rubber bands, big rubber band ball, all messed up, whatever. You have to get to where you can tell, here's the green ones and here's the brown ones and the yellow and whatever, and the fat ones and the skinny ones and, the ones for your hair and you still have all that crap inside of you, but you have it sorted out. And when things happen or when it rises up in you, like a panic, like, oh my gosh, it's because that thing. Yeah, that's why I'm feeling this way. And it gives you more clarity. But if you're a jumbled up ball, that's where you get phobic, you get anxious, you get overwhelmed, you get, you can't find your way out because it's so tied together. So you need that time and that space, and allow yourself the time and space to release it, put it in its place so that it can't gang up on you again and envelop you and overwhelm you. So so in that case, I was grateful for having gone through that, because it wouldn't have taught me the skills that I needed foundationally to go forward. And now I'm able to deal with things without letting them overwhelm me like that, like they used to.
Yeah, it's necessary sometimes. You got to go through it to grow through it.
Yeah, and whether it's church, friends, therapy, whatever it is, however you find your community, however you find that ability to sort through what's going on in your head. I think that's the most important skill set that I learned living in Hollywood for 40 years. Because if you look at the carnage along the way, people that have come up when I came up, people that came up after I did, that are no longer with us, it's a hard town, and it destroys a lot of people, their hearts, their minds, their souls, and that's the thing that it's very difficult to learn how to negotiate those treacherous waters. I mean, that's like way more dangerous than any tiger sharks out in the ocean here.
Well, you've done a good job, and you're here today. So
yeah, yep,
yeah, that's awesome. If you weren't doing acting, singing, all these other things, what do you think you'd be doing?
If I wasn't doing this, I used to like creative writing. I'd be writing stories. I'd be writing books, novellas. And I recently took a writing class, a series of writing classes. So, it was a memoir class though, but I don't know if I really want to write about myself. But yeah, just snippets. I like little novellas of like short stories and things like that. I enjoy writing. I could be singing in a hotel bar in Waikiki. I could be, singing in a karaoke bar somewhere. I love singing. Singing soothes me. However that is. I was over in Makaha, over at that beach house over there, singing karaoke by the side of the ocean, as happy as a little clam with my little, lava flow drink. And,
That's awesome. So
at sunset.
Along the lines of creativity.
Yeah, whatever,
You're
however
creative.
it comes out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But I can't draw. I can't paint. I can't draw.
Same. I can't
My
do that.
kid's really good at that. I'm really bad at that.
She'll carry the team.
Yep.
Yeah. If you could tell a story about your life, what would it be? Like if you could make a movie about your life or a book about your life. Like
oh, you mean like a synopsis, like a short synopsis?
Yeah. Well, like what story would you like to tell?
Local girl born on the wrong side of the volcano. Is plucked from obscurity and is carried on a journey for the next 40 years to find herself right back where she started.
That's beautiful. You should do it. Sounds like a Disney movie waiting to happen.
I don't know. Some of the stuff not so Disney friendly.
Hey, Deadpool was Disney.
Deadpool.
That was rated R.
Oh.
There, times are changing.
Yeah, but
We're
that's
evolving.
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I don't know. It's like me. I don't know. We'll see if they can put up with that coming from me.
We'll see. Is there certain actors that you would like to work with that you haven't?
Oh my gosh. I recently went in for a Michelle Pfeiffer movie and I didn't get it. I was so sad because I love her. The fact that she started, I think her first movie was Grease 2, not even Grease 1, Grease 2. And like Charlie Chan and the Chain Queen. I don't know if that's true, but I saw it in her bio on something online. But that she went from that to being in Scarface and this, serious, much revered actress. And she, went past, being this beautiful woman to being this very well respected actress. I just love her and everything about her.
Yeah. Nice. What about on the singing side? Who would you like to perform or have a song with?
Gosh. Singing wise, I have to think about the tone of my voice, which is more like alto, like more rich and deep. So a guy's voice with mine. I mean, I love Michael Bublé's voice.
That could be a good match.
I like his how he sings with his orchestra and stuff. Actually, I performed with the guy that conducts his orchestra. That's why I thought about him. But I don't know, so many different people. It'd be amazing just to go and try all different.
Yeah.
Go sing my country song at the Grand Ole Opry.
Cool. Do you feel pressure to represent Hawaii in a certain way?
I don't know if it's a pressure. I feel like I've always said, this is where my heart is in the islands, and this is culturally more me than even being Filipino. It's like that's everything. The food, the people, the music, But now I know haku headbands are not haku headbands. That's what they called them when I was a kid, but they're lepo'o, So now there's more of an awareness of the proper terminology and pronunciation, Hawaii instead of Hawaii, and making it more accessible to the masses. Like, I was sort of like entry level Hawaii for the mainland people.
And you left at 17.
Yeah, I left at 17. Yeah, a long time ago.
So there's a lot of things that,
Yeah, more of the Hawaiian Renaissance. And like, I wish I could have gone to Kamehameha school. Like, every time I went past, I'm like, I look up at the mountain in Kalihi and go, wish I could go there, but nah.
Sacred Heart's proud. I went to Sacred Heart's
but my grandpa was adopted. Maybe I could have proved blood. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
You have to find the whatever.
Like the ancestry, DNA test. Have you ever done any of those?
No. When I heard that some serial killer was caught with the ancestry, whatever, something at 23andMe, I'm like,
what?
That they can find you? Like, what if I decided I wanted to go, kill somebody? No, I was kidding.
Hey, you never know. We keep all options available, open on the table.
I don't want them to find my DNA at the site. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. But But I won't get them to draw my blood. No.
Okay. That's funny. Hopefully that happens. Actually, so I ordered some DNA tests on Amazon Prime Day.
You did? Well, did you do them? You didn't do them.
So I didn't come. Well, it might have came in actually. I gotta go check. But basically, I got a bunch because I'm gonna do giveaways and prizes at our podcast party.
And people are gonna do that.
Well,
you're giving it away DNA tests.
DNA tests because we talk about culture all the time here. And you know what? Some people, it's like I wouldn't do one unless it was just given to me. Like if it was given to me, maybe I'll do it. But I wouldn't go out of my way to go do it. So if you win it in a prize, maybe you'll be like, well, maybe I'll see what my ancestry is. So yeah, but I did hear about some I think it was 23andMe that they were selling like your DNA or saliva or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's creepy. And then they can do testing on it, or they could I don't know. Yeah.
So maybe not.
Like we give enough of ourselves online with our,
Well, even at the airport, that you see now they take a picture of you, right?
Scan.
Oh, and there's the eye scan.
I've already been scanned.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah, we're doomed. I'm just gonna have to go and live off the grid, go and hide in some like self-sustaining fruit farm, and
I think about that all the time.
No Wi-Fi. Yeah, my own water source.
Yeah, off the grid.
That's the way.
Yeah. So, what is one like a crazy moment or story in your career that you could share with us? Funny one or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was talking about how this agent told me I needed to get wigs, right?
Okay.
So you can see from there where I'm going with this. I had short hair
Mm-hmm.
and I would go to auditions with this wig clipped on my head. And one day I had this audition and I was walking, feeling myself, feeling all good, hair, makeup, hair. And I had, I don't know, books in my arm. And there was a big bus stop full of people sitting there. And, they're watching because, I don't know, I'm going to some modeling thing. And I was walking and I slipped on like the driveway. I slipped and fell on my okole. My books went one way, my hair went the other way. And I'm on the ground like, make A. And all these people are like, looking at me, right? I'm like, oh God, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not, you know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do. I went and I put all my stuff together. I picked it up. I put my hair, shook it off, and I put it on my head and I kept walking. That's like the example of my resilient moment. Like, I'm just gonna pick up my hair, dust it off, and put it back on my head and keep walking.
Instead even say it or just
no conversation, no
never
nothing.
Happened.
Just no, I'm owning it. Yeah, it's a wig. Yeah, what? You like say something?
Yeah. Oh, the Kali coming out right
there. I dare you. You like say something?
Yeah. That's funny. What's your favorite things to do when you come home? We heard the Liha Bakery, right?
Yeah, that's my first stop. The Liha Bakery.
What's the order?
The one in Kuakini.
Okay, that's specifically Kuakini. And what do you order?
I shouldn't even say that. I don't want other people to go.
Okay, well,
you go to the other ones.
Go, yeah. She goes to the one in
on Nimitz. The one on Nimitz. Yeah.
Hawai'i, all the way out there, past Mokaha. If you don't see it, keep going. Keep going. You'll find it eventually.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's over at Yokohama at the end of the beach.
Exactly,
where it ends. That's where.
Yeah, park your car, get out, go walk on the beach, and you see some mountains. Just keep walking over there. It's right around the corner.
It's around the corner, the point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Next, you get like Instagrammers on there. Let's see. So that, and then I go visit my grandma's grave over at Valley of the Temples. And I go to Kalihi, where I grew up, go to St. Anthony's, where I went to kindergarten, go to Makaha, because I love Makaha Beach. I go to Waimanalo, because that's where I wish I lived. But now Obama lives there. Wait, we should cut that. Do people know that? We shouldn't say that.
Oh, no. That's a super common...
Everybody knows
that's Obama's house.
Yeah, because it used to be in Lanikai.
On Kaiona Beach.
Oy.
Well, I think there was like some pushback too, because like... I don't know if it was like the permitting
the security and everybody.
Or something like they got clearance for something. I don't know.
That's where I wish I could live. I always thought Waimanalo, that's,
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is like one way in, one way out. I don't really like that. Like, if you got to be somewhere and there's traffic and
That's true.
Beautiful. Maybe a beach house, like a weekend.
Yeah.
But what's your order from Liliha? What you go to?
Oh, hamburger steak, rice, mac salad, gravy on everything, butter roll, and fruit punch.
Nice. The butter roll, that's what they got, the jelly, right? That like red jelly or something.
The radioactive red jelly. It's like it glows in the dark.
We don't know what it is.
I don't even know what's in it.
So good.
Don't ask, don't tell. Yeah.
And we're not gonna question it.
I don't want to know. Right? I don't care. And then if I want breakfast, I'll have 1-piece hot cake and fried rice with 1 egg over easy, spam, and Portuguese sausage.
Okay, nice. That's solid.
That's why I can't live here, because I'll be like 572 pounds.
That is like almost like the dichotomy of living in Hawaii, because
it's a danger.
The food is so amazing. Like we're very healthy.
So tasty.
We have all these active things that we can do, but then after you do that, you just go right to the plate lunch with the mac salad.
Yeah, and then you just dismantle all that exercise. Like, I just burned 1,200 calories. I just ate 2,700 calories in one plate.
I know, right?
Yeah. Actually, you're making me hungry. I didn't have breakfast. I'm gonna go eat now.
No, Lord, it's already it's the lunchtime, but we are coming to the end of the podcast. But I do want to know, what is something that you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Something I wish people knew about me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've been in the, public eye since I was 17 years old. I don't know if there's anything they don't know about me at this point.
What is something you think people misunderstand about you?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the misconception is that I'm like this tough, strong, bulletproof person, but I'm really kind of, I don't know, not insecure, but not as sure of myself as you would think. You know, maybe some of that is a little bit of armor that I put around myself. So it's fun for me to act that on screen because underneath I'm just like, okay, come on, get your guts up and go and do it. And that's why it's amazing that I've done all the stuff that I've done because every time I get up on stage, I'm terrified. Every time I, go in for that audition or whatever, I'm like, oh God, you're too this, you're too that, and you have to overcome all this negative internal dialogue. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know, whatever, but that's the battle that I think a lot of creative people have to overcome. Their basic insecurity that they don't know if they've got it to deliver, that they're good enough, as good as other people in the space doing what they do. But it keeps you humble. It keeps you striving for greatness. You want to get better and better. You're not so conceited that you think you're all that, that you don't have to work anymore or try anymore. So,
Well, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, in front of the eyes of millions of people. So much judgment.
Or even hundreds in a room looking up at you. It's like, going on this little tour, earlier this year, just that you can see everybody in the room and you're like, oh, I hope I remember all my words. That's why I'm terrified of doing stage, because you have to memorize an hour and a half, 2 hours of a script, and that you don't forget in the middle of a live performance on stage. Yeah. So
next level.
Sorry to Joe Moore, because Joe Moore has offered me like some plays, but I'm scared to do it. I'm scared to do it, to go on stage. That's really what the point is. I'm afraid and I need to overcome this. I'm sorry. I don't trust my brain to memorize that much because I'm not used to it. There's people that started out doing plays, so it's more a part of them. I started out doing movies and TV shows and commercials,
What's your process for memorizing?
I just read it over and over again, and I remember like the flow of the dialogue. Generally speaking, if it's call and response, like you and I are having a conversation, there's a logical thing. Like when I was on General Hospital on the soap opera I did for a year and a half, I would have like 40 pages of dialogue, 30 pages of dialogue a night. And thankfully, it was very, kind of, you can figure what the person's going to say. You can figure what you're going to say based on what they say. But yeah, it's hard, especially historical facts and dates and numbers, hard to memorize. I don't know how you memorize it, but you just do. I don't know.
You're just more capable than you think you are. That's all.
Yeah.
It's so cool how we all surprise ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're just like, wow, I didn't know I could
do
that.
Play.
Yeah, no,
that's next level. That's a lot of stuff to memorize.
Yeah, when I watch it, I'm just super impressed.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. All right. Before we end the podcast, I got to know, what is your life hack? This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
My life hack, I was saying it's a stupid thing, but it's very useful and I've used it a number of times. I don't know where I first learned this, but I learned it a super long time ago, that if you have a broken light bulb, the jaggedy edge, how you take it out, you cut a potato in half, and you take the hard potato and you jam it on, and then you turn it, and you can take the broken light bulb off with half a potato.
Oh, that's cool.
Uncooked, obviously.
Yeah, sweet potato, regular potato, whatever.
No, it has to be a hard potato.
Okay.
Russet potato, because it's firm. Jam it on and turn it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Don't try and eat the potato afterwards, though, because glass shards.
Okay. Well, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking of breaking my light bulb at home just so I could try that.
You should. Yeah. You should. It works. It works a charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are, Keep It Aloha podcast, promoting you to break your light bulb and do this potato hack.
If it happens to break, feel free to use the hack. Don't break the light bulbs needlessly.
That's a good idea with other things too. Similar, if it's something where it's like sharp and you need
sharp, and you need to unscrew it from something. Yeah,
that's cool. Might not work with like a screw or something, or like a nail.
Yeah, no, because the round would not grab.
The Portuguese in me would be like, oh, this rusted nail. Oh, let me just pound it out with a potato, but it's just gonna keep stabbing.
I can
That's a Portuguese joke waiting to happen.
The Portuguese joke. Oh no, where's Frank de Lima? Where's Frank de Lima? He could write a joke for that.
Yeah, he was sitting right over there.
I know. It was nice to see him. I saw. Because I remember when Frank de Lima came to Sacred Hearts one year and did
doing
his comedy
rounds.
act. Yeah.
Legend.
Sounds
yeah,
like-
he's gonna. This is his last year, and he's wow.
Where's he playing now? Sorry, my hair's
I
all coming
think
out.
he does the school things, and then he does the shows with Augie and Andy once in a while.
Oh, so
I
he
think
doesn't
that's
have any
about
like a
it.
regular thing. I could go see
don't
him
think
now.
So maybe he has like a Mother's Day stuff. But yeah, he was saying like he's old. You know,
he's still funny
has
as
his health,
hell though.
Super funny, so kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He told me what he's gonna do after. I don't know if I want to share it on this. But yeah, he's gonna retire and move somewhere.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
nice! I better go call Andy Mumatai. He'll be like, "Hey, you did that podcast. You never did mine. I did his like 2 hours in online in LA.
The Daily Pigeon podcast.
Yeah, the Daily Pigeon. Talk about bossing out the pigeon.
He's so good at that.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I just have my last fast fave 5 questions. These are just rapid fire answers, okay?
rapid fire. Okay,
And then
I don't know if I know all the answers, but
whatever comes to you. And then we'll get some Ono Hawaiian food.
yes.
Okay. What is your favorite song to sing?
My favorite song is "Blue Bayou," Linda
Oh.
Ronstadt, because she can no longer sing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that song. I've sung that since I was a teenager in
Nice.
Samoa, visiting my family.
Did you see that movie that Justin Chon made about
Oh, Blue Bayou? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful
So
movie.
that's a good one.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Made me
And
think
Alicia
of that.
Vikander, I love her too.
Yes, yeah, both are great actors. Okay, favorite food from home.
Favorite.
Hmm
That's so hard to choose because I like all the food from home,
Top 3.
but always the hamburger steak
Okay, so
dinner
top
at
3.
Liliha. Hawaiian plate lunch with mac salad wherever. I don't know.
You Kalua pig, Lau Lau.
I like kalua pig,
Oh.
lau lau, lomi lomi salmon,
Hmm
poi, but I put sugar in my poi.
Oh, she's one of those.
I
Cut that
know.
out. We'll cut
I
that
know.
out. We'll
I
cut it
know.
out. Jordan, cut this out.
I know. That's funny. It's like for the Hawaiian people, I put like little bit sugar, small kind sugar in my poi, and then dip my kalua pig. It's savory and sweet.
Yeah. So
It's like chutney with your lamb chops.
that's a good point. I think it depends what kind of poi you're getting. That's why. Because if you get like good fresh poi,
It's sweet.
It's sweet. Yeah. If you wait a little while, it gets sour.
Day old
Yeah.
sour poi.
Yeah. At some,
Maybe I
so
just haven't gotten it fresh enough.
you just haven't had. Have you had Hanalei poi? That's the one you can buy at the store. That's usually like the best store bought one in my.
I wonder if
opinion.
they have it down at Hawaiian. I'm gonna. Go
They
check
have
them
their
out.
own. I don't know if they use it, but if you go to the store, Costco, wherever, you see the Hanalei poi, try that one.
Oh,
That
okay.
one, that one's sweeter. But the best is the ones from like the Loa'i, like the kind like hand.
Yeah.
pounded, like, that's
Like
the best.
fresh. Like,
Yeah. At some point, if I
Getting
get,
so
because I
hungry.
have friends over there, I'll try to get it to you if you happen to be here, because you got to try that poi.
Okay.
And then maybe you won't have to put the sugar in the poi.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as they have kalua pig, I need that too.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So
it's
you
not
do
a
it together.
complete meal.
I like eating it together.
I love that. I just throw my kalua pig inside
Yes.
and just swirl it around
Exactly.
and eat it.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm going to be doing that in about 5 minutes.
Yes. Hopefully sooner if we can get that. Favorite guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. Ooh, okay. And this happened on the set of Lilo and Stitch too. I love it desperately, and I can't have it around because I will not stop eating it. It's like crack. The furikake Chex Mix
Oh,
in
those
the
are good.
big
Okay.
bin. I could eat the whole thing. It's a problem.
Yeah. The party mix.
It's a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's butter and sugar and shoyu
Yeah.
and furikake with MSG and all that
It's
stuff.
the best.
It's like,
Yeah. My friend's family makes like a party mix like that with that and other stuff, and I eat that thing so fast.
Yeah,
Like,
I made it at home with
Mm.
with 3 different boxes because you get the bugles, which I
Mhm.
love adding to it. The bugles, the crunchy bugle potato chip things, and the different kinds of Chex, and I put it all together. So I had like choke Chex Mix. I had so much. I had to mail it away to my family because otherwise I would have eaten it all.
wow.
Yeah, it's addictive.
The struggle is real.
The struggle's real.
Okay. Favorite vacation destination.
Oahu, of course.
Okay. Well, besides
If you're
Hawaii,
not on
yeah.
Oahu, Hilo and Kona.
Okay, so this Hawaii in general.
Exactly, just in general, because whenever I have free time. But I do want to go to Japan, because I've never been there.
Wait,
I've
you've
only been to
never
the
been to
I've only been to
Japan?
the airport.
That's crazy.
I've been at the airport a number of times, traveling to somewhere else, but never went to Japan.
Wow.
And I was supposed to go when COVID hit and the world shut down.
Oh.
That's when I was supposed to go to Japan.
Right now is the best time to go.
I know.
The yen.
Did you buy yen?
I thought about it, but I went in April. I'm thinking of going again. We're actually was gonna do a podcast in September with Konishiki. But I think we're gonna
He's still
push it.
around?
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah, but I think I'm
How
gonna
old
push
is
it
he
back.
now?
Probably in his 50s. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the other guy.
There was Akebono, Musashi Maru. Akebono passed away.
Okay.
Musashi
That's
Maru,
what
and then Konishiki I think was the youngest, or maybe Musashi. Yeah.
Amazing.
So we're gonna do that.
Wow.
But yes, I recommend everybody go to
I want to
Japan.
go there during like cherry blossom time though. So that's
I
like
think that's
March.
next year.
Yeah.
But
I hope the
maybe
yen
by yen,
stays.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
So I don't know
I've
if I
been
want to
through this.
wait till then.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, should I buy it now? Should I wait? I don't know. So
Yeah, because you go there, all of a sudden everything's more expensive.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
man.
So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and last one, favorite movie.
My favorite movie? Boy, that's a tough one. I love The Little Mermaid. It makes me happy. And I love singing along with the songs at the top of my lungs.
What's your favorite song from Little Mermaid?
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? I could sing the whole song.
Yes, we'll have a podcast where you're just singing
All the Disney.
the
Disney. I'd be doing the Little Mermaid. We know the local kind Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all we have for you today. Mahalo so much for blessing us with your presence and sharing stories and talking stories with us.
Thank you.
Is there
Thank you for
anything?
spreading the aloha
Of
spirit.
course.
That's what we always try to
Continuing
do.
what you did in 2020.
Oh my gosh.
Is there anything you want to share with us before we wrap up? If not, tell us where we can find you.
Gosh, I'm at Tia Carrere on the Instagram, on the Facebook. I got the check mark. And don't fall for those other people that go, hey, go into my secret, fan site and whatever. It's all, they're just trying to get money from you. And it's like people from other countries and it's not me. Because I'm always just like liking stuff and I'll comment like in that moment, but I won't go off to a side room and talk to you. So don't fall for that.
Yeah, no, that's actually me running those accounts. Trying to get money. Yeah. So don't listen to her. Keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, those people trying to siphon off my fans and go and, I don't know, extort money from them or something, but be careful.
Okay, be careful. All right. I usually just wrap it up by, saying a little something, but I was thinking it would be cool if maybe you want to outro us with a little aloha oi. Would you mind doing that?
Yeah.
So do it as I'm saying this. It's kind of like a background voiceover.
Aloha oi, aloha oi, e ke ona no I ka lipo, a fond embrace, a hoia eo, until we meet again.
Mahalo, Tia, for joining us on the Keep It Low podcast. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka. Remember to always keep it aloha.